In the tumultuous 16th century, Japan was a land ravaged by endless war and political ambition. This was the Sengoku Jidai, or Warring States period, a time when feudal lords, daimyos, vied for supremacy, and the dream of unifying Japan seemed as distant as the stars. In this crucible of conflict, one name would rise above all others: Oda Nobunaga, the man often credited with laying the foundations for the unification of Japan. But behind his meteoric rise and relentless ambition stood a woman whose story is as enigmatic as it is compelling: Nōhime, the Lady of Mino. Born into the Saitō clan in the fertile plains of Mino province, modern-day Gifu prefecture, Nōhime was no ordinary woman. She was the daughter of Saitō Dōsan, a man whose rise to power was as audacious as it was improbable. Once a mere oil merchant, Dōsan had clawed his way into the ranks of the daimyo through a combination of cunning, betrayal, and sheer willpower. His daughter inherited not only his sharp intellect but also his unyielding spirit, a quality that would serve her well in the treacherous waters of Sengoku politics. Nōhime's early life was shrouded in mystery, but one thing was certain: she was groomed for greatness. In a society where women were often relegated to the shadows, she stood out as a beacon of intelligence and grace. Tales of her beauty spread far and wide, but it was her mind that set her apart. She was well-versed in the arts, literature, and the political intricacies of her time, a rarity even among the daughters of nobility. Yet, her destiny was not to lead armies or govern provinces. It was to cement alliances and influence the course of history from behind the scenes. At the age of 16, Nōhime was married to Oda Nobunaga, a brash and unconventional young lord from the neighboring Owari province. The union was a calculated move orchestrated by Saitō Dōsan, who sought to secure his western borders against potential threats. For Nobunaga, the marriage offered a valuable alliance with the powerful Saitō clan, a stepping stone in his quest for dominance. But for Nōhime, it was the beginning of a life that would test her resilience, loyalty, and ability to navigate the perilous world of Sengoku politics. From the outset, Nōhime's relationship with Nobunaga was anything but ordinary. Nobunaga, often referred to as the Fool of Owari, was infamous for his eccentric behavior and disdain for tradition. Where other daimyo adhered to rigid customs, he flaunted them with audacious irreverence. He was a man of bold vision and unrelenting ambition, qualities that both fascinated and frustrated those around him. For Nōhime, this unorthodoxy was both a challenge and an opportunity. As the daughter of a self-made man, she understood the power of adaptation and the importance of strategy. She would need both to survive and thrive in Nobunaga's unpredictable world. The marriage began as a union of convenience, but it soon evolved into a partnership marked by mutual respect. While the chronicles of the time are sparse on details, they hint at Nōhime's influence on Nobunaga's early career. She was his confidant, advisor, and, some say, his spy. Her keen intellect and political acumen complemented his military genius, creating a dynamic duo that would reshape the course of Japanese history. Yet, Nōhime's life was not without its trials. As Nobunaga's ambitions grew, so too did the challenges he faced. Rivals sought to undermine him at every turn, and betrayal lurked around every corner. In this volatile environment, Nōhime's role became even more crucial. She managed the delicate balance of alliances, soothed tensions within the Oda clan, and provided Nobunaga with the insights he needed to outmaneuver his enemies. While history often credits Nobunaga's victories to his strategic brilliance, it is impossible to ignore the silent contributions of the woman by his side. Nōhime's resilience was tested most profoundly during the downfall of her father. Saitō Dōsan, once the Lord of Mino, was betrayed and killed by his own son, Saitō Yoshitatsu, in a bitter power struggle. This event not only marked the end of her father's reign, but also placed Nōhime in an untenable position. Torn between her loyalty to her family and her allegiance to her husband, she chose the path of duty, supporting Nobunaga as he moved to consolidate power in Mino. This decision, though painful, underscored her unwavering commitment to the Oda clan and her belief in Nobunaga's vision for Japan. As the years passed, Nōhime's influence grew, even as her presence in historical records diminished. She was a woman of mystery, her life and legacy obscured by the passage of time and the male-dominated narratives of the Sengoku era. Yet, her impact on Nobunaga's career and the unification of Japan cannot be overstated. She was the silent strategist, the steadfast partner, and the unyielding pillar of strength that allowed Nobunaga to rise above the chaos and carve his name into history. This is the story of Nōhime, not just as the wife of Oda Nobunaga but as a force in her own right. It is a tale of love and loyalty, ambition and sacrifice, set against the backdrop of one of Japan's most tumultuous periods. Through her eyes, we will journey into the heart of the Sengoku era, uncovering the trials, triumphs, and tragedies that defined her life and shaped the destiny of a nation. The marriage between Nōhime and Oda Nobunaga was not born of love but of political necessity. Like many unions of the Sengoku period, it was a calculated alliance, designed to solidify power, fortify borders, and prepare for the inevitable wars that defined this chaotic era. However, what emerged from this arrangement was far from ordinary. It was a partnership that would become one of the most enigmatic relationships in Japanese history. Nōhime arrived at the Oda stronghold of Kiyosu Castle in the spring of 1549. A young bride of only 16, the journey from Mino province was long and fraught with tension, not only for the young woman but for the entourage that accompanied her. She was leaving behind the lush valleys and familiar faces of her home to enter a household ruled by a man whose reputation for eccentricity was already the subject of whispers across the region. Nobunaga, just 18 at the time, was known as the Fool of Owari. His unkempt appearance, wild antics, and open disdain for the rigid traditions of the samurai class had earned him this nickname. Yet beneath the surface of his seemingly erratic behavior lay a sharp mind and an unyielding ambition that few could discern. For Nōhime, this marriage was a test, not only of her loyalty to her father, Saitō Dōsan, but of her ability to adapt to a world that demanded cunning and resilience. From the moment she set foot in Kiyosu Castle, Nōhime faced challenges. The Oda clan, while formidable in Owari, was far from the most powerful force in Japan. Nobunaga's leadership was constantly questioned by his retainers, many of whom saw him as unworthy of his position. Nōhime, aware of her precarious position as an outsider, approached her new role with a calculated grace that masked her steely resolve. The first months of their marriage were marked by mutual observation. Nobunaga, curious about his new bride, tested her patience with his unpredictable behavior. He would often appear late to their shared meals, dressed in tattered clothing, or ignore formalities entirely to see how she would react. Nōhime, however, refused to be provoked. Her composure, even in the face of such deliberate slights, began to earn her Nobunaga's respect. Nōhime's background as the daughter of Saitō Dōsan played a crucial role in shaping her approach. Her father, a man of humble origins who had risen to power through shrewdness and betrayal, had instilled in her the importance of pragmatism. She had grown up in a household where survival depended on staying one step ahead of enemies and allies alike. This upbringing made her uniquely suited to life at Nobunaga's court, where intrigue and betrayal were as common as the rising sun. While their relationship began as a political arrangement, it evolved into a partnership built on mutual understanding. Nobunaga, despite his outward disdain for tradition, recognized the value of Nōhime's intelligence and perspective. She became one of his closest confidants, offering insights that complemented his bold strategies. Whether through whispered advice during private moments or subtle influence over his retainers, Nōhime began to play an integral role in Nobunaga's ascent. Nōhime's influence extended beyond the personal sphere. In a time when women were often relegated to the shadows, she carved out a space for herself as a political operator. Through her connections to the Saitō clan, She provided Nobunaga with critical intelligence about his enemies in Mino and beyond. Some rumors even suggested that she acted as a spy, feeding information to Nobunaga about the movements of rival daimyos. While these claims remain unverified, they speak to the mystique that surrounded her. Despite the growing respect between them, their marriage was not without its challenges. Nōhime's inability to bear children, a significant issue in a society where heirs were vital for maintaining power, placed her in a vulnerable position. Nobunaga took concubines, as was customary for a man of his status. But Nōhime's position as his primary wife remained secure. This was a testament not only to her resilience but also to the depth of their partnership. She may not have given Nobunaga a biological heir, but she contributed to his legacy in ways that transcended lineage. Their relationship also weathered the storms of external conflict. As Nobunaga began his campaign to unify Owari, he faced opposition from both within and outside his clan. Nōhime's presence during these turbulent times was a stabilizing force. She managed the household, soothed tensions among Nobunaga's retainers, and provided him with a sanctuary where he could regroup and plan his next move. Her ability to maintain order in the midst of chaos earned her the respect of many within the Oda clan. The turning point in their relationship came during Nobunaga's first major victory against Imagawa Yoshimoto at the Battle of Okahazama in 1560. This triumph, achieved against overwhelming odds, marked Nobunaga's emergence as a formidable force in the Sengoku era. While Nōhime was not present on the battlefield, her support in the lead-up to the battle was indispensable. She had helped rally the retainers, ensuring that Nobunaga had the resources and morale needed to face such a daunting challenge. As Nobunaga's star continued to rise, so too did Nōhime's role in his life. She became not only his wife but his partner in the truest sense of the word, a woman whose intelligence and strength of character made her an invaluable asset in his quest for power. Their union, though born of political necessity, had become something far more profound, a testament to the power of collaboration and mutual respect in a world dominated by conflict and ambition. The story of Nōhime and Nobunaga was just beginning, but its foundations were already laid. Together, they would navigate the treacherous waters of Sengoku politics, facing challenges that would test their resolve and shape the destiny of Japan. For Nōhime, this was not just a marriage, it was a mission, one that she would pursue with the same unwavering determination that had defined her life from the very beginning. In the male-dominated world of Sengoku Japan, Nōhime's ability to assert influence without wielding a sword was nothing short of extraordinary. While her husband, Oda Nobunaga, cut his path to power through battlefield triumphs, Nōhime carved hers in the intricate and often treacherous domain of court politics. Her role, though subtle and largely undocumented in historical records, was indispensable to the consolidation of Nobunaga's rule. When Nōhime first arrived in Kiyosu Castle, she quickly realized that she was entering not only a new home but also a complex political landscape. The Oda clan, though powerful in Owari province, was rife with internal divisions. Nobunaga's unorthodox leadership style alienated many of his retainers, who viewed him as a reckless and impulsive leader. Nōhime's task was clear: to navigate this volatile environment and solidify her position, not just as Nobunaga's wife but as a figure of authority and respect. Nōhime's upbringing in the Saitō clan had prepared her for such challenges. As the daughter of Saitō Dōsan, a man who rose from obscurity to become a daimyo through sheer cunning, she had witnessed firsthand the importance of strategy and adaptability. Her father's court was a place where words could be as deadly as swords, and she had learned to wield them with precision. This skill proved invaluable in the Oda household, where alliances were fragile and trust was a scarce commodity. In her early days at Kiyosu, Nōhime observed more than she acted. She paid close attention to the dynamics among Nobunaga's retainers. Noting their loyalties, ambitions, and grievances, she quickly identified key figures whose support would be crucial to Nobunaga's success. such as Katsui Shibata and Hideyoshi Hashiba, later Toyotomi Hideyoshi. While these men respected Nobunaga's military prowess, it was often Nōhime's subtle diplomacy that kept them aligned with his vision. One notable example of Nōhime's influence was her handling of disputes within the Oda clan. Nobunaga's rise to power had been marked by conflicts with his younger brother, Oda Nobunaga, who sought to undermine his authority. While Nobunaga dealt with Nobuyuki through force and political maneuvering, Nōhime played a quieter but equally crucial role. She acted as a mediator, using her position to placate factions within the clan and prevent further splintering. Though her efforts did not always succeed, they underscored her ability to navigate the perilous waters of clan politics. Nōhime's intelligence and composure also made her a valuable asset in managing Nobunaga's relationships with other daimyo. One of the most significant challenges they faced was maintaining alliances while preparing for inevitable conflicts. Nōhime, with her keen understanding of Sengoku diplomacy, often acted as an intermediary in these delicate negotiations. Her ability to convey Nobunaga's intentions with tact and clarity earned her the respect of many outside the Oda clan, further bolstering her husband's reputation. Rumors of Nōhime's involvement in espionage began to circulate during this time. While there is little concrete evidence to support these claims, they persist in historical lore. Some suggest that she acted as a spy for Nobunaga, using her connections to gather intelligence on rival clans. Others believe she maintained secret correspondence with her family in Mino, providing Nobunaga with critical information about the Saitō clan's activities. Whether true or not, these rumors highlight the perception of Nōhime as a woman of extraordinary cunning and resourcefulness. Despite her growing influence, Nōhime faced constant challenges in asserting her authority. As a woman in a patriarchal society, her position was inherently precarious. She had to contend with the expectations placed upon her as Nobunaga's wife, including the pressure to produce an heir. Her inability to bear children was a source of tension, both within the Oda household and in broader political circles. Nobunaga's concubines bore him several children, further complicating her position. Yet, Nōhime refused to be defined by this limitation. Instead, she focused on strengthening her role as a political and strategic partner to Nobunaga. Her resilience was most evident in her interactions with Nobunaga himself. While their marriage began as a political arrangement, it evolved into a relationship of mutual respect and collaboration. Nobunaga, who was known for his volatile temperament, valued Nōhime's counsel and often sought her advice on matters of state. Their private conversations, though rarely documented, were said to be intense and intellectually stimulating, with Nōhime challenging Nobunaga's ideas and offering alternative perspectives. This dynamic not only deepened their bond but also shaped many of Nobunaga's decisions. Nōhime's influence extended beyond the confines of the Oda household. She was known to correspond with other prominent women of the Sengoku era, including Nene, the wife of Hideyoshi Hashiba. These relationships, while often overlooked in historical accounts, played a crucial role in maintaining alliances and fostering cooperation among the various factions that supported Nobunaga's rise. Through her network, Nōhime helped create a sense of unity and purpose that transcended individual ambitions. One of Nōhime's most significant contributions was her role in maintaining the morale and cohesion of Nobunaga's forces. As Nobunaga embarked on his campaigns to unify Owari and expand his territory, he faced numerous setbacks and challenges. Nōhime, though often far from the battlefield, provided unwavering support. She managed the logistics of the Oda household, ensured the well-being of the retainers' families, and served as a source of strength for Nobunaga during difficult times. Her presence was a constant reminder of the stakes they faced and the legacy they sought to build. The turning point in Nōhime's life came with the downfall of her father, Saitō Dōsan. In 1556, Dōsan was betrayed and killed by his son, Saitō Yashitatsu, in a violent coup. This event not only marked the end of Dōsan's reign but also placed Nōhime in a precarious position. Her loyalty was now divided between her husband and her family, a conflict that would test her resolve and redefine her role in Nobunaga's world. As Nobunaga prepared to challenge the Saitō clan for control of Mino, Nōhime found herself at the center of a personal and political maelstrom. Her relationship with Yashitatsu, once a source of familial pride, had become a liability, yet she remained steadfast in her support for Nobunaga, even as it meant confronting the legacy of her father and the betrayal of her brother. This decision, though painful, underscored her unwavering commitment to Nobunaga's vision and her belief in their shared destiny. In the years that followed, Nōhime's role continued to evolve. She became not only a wife and confidant, but also a symbol of Nobunaga's ambition and resilience. Her ability to navigate the complexities of Sengoku politics, maintain alliances, and support Nobunaga's campaigns made her an indispensable part of his rise to power. Though her contributions were often overshadowed by the dramatic events of the time, they laid the groundwork for Nobunaga's eventual success. Nōhime's life in the warrior's world was a testament to her strength, intelligence, and adaptability. She defied the expectations of her era, carving out a space for herself in a society that often sought to silence women's voices. Her journey was far from over, but her impact on Nobunaga's life and legacy was already profound. Together, they would face even greater challenges as the dream of unifying Japan began to take shape. The bond between Nōhime and her father, Saitō Dōsan, was one of admiration, duty, and quiet rebellion. Born as the daughter of a man whose rise to power defied all conventions, Nōhime inherited not only her father's strategic mind, but also his ability to maneuver in a world ruled by deception and ambition. Yet, as much as her father's shadow loomed large over her life, it was the decisions she made in the face of his fall that truly defined her character. Saitō Dōsan, often referred to as the Viper of Mino, was a man whose very existence was an affront to the rigid hierarchy of Sengoku Japan. Once a humble oil merchant, he rose to power through cunning and ruthlessness, wresting control of Mino province from established samurai families. His ascent was not without enemies, but his ability to outwit rivals and consolidate power earned him both fear and begrudging respect. For Nōhime, growing up as his daughter meant living with the duality of admiration for his genius and an acute awareness of the precariousness of their position. Nōhime's marriage to Oda Nobunaga was, in many ways, her father's ultimate gamble. By aligning with the Oda clan, Dōsan sought to secure a powerful ally against his enemies and bolster his position against internal threats. At the time, the Saitō clan's control over Mino was anything but secure. Dōsan's meteoric rise had left a trail of resentment, particularly among his retainers and family members who chafed under his rule. Among them was his eldest son, Saitō Yashitatsu, whose ambitions would prove to be the undoing of Dōsan's legacy. In 1556, the simmering tensions within the Saitō family reached a boiling point. Yashitatsu, long resentful of his father's favoritism toward his younger sons, launched a coup. The rebellion culminated in the Battle of Nagaragawa, where Dōsan met his end at the hands of his own son. For Nōhime, the news was devastating. The man who had shaped her understanding of power and survival was gone, and with his death, the fragile alliance between the Oda and Saitō clans was shattered. The fall of Saitō Dōsan marked a turning point in Nōhime's life. No longer tethered to her father's influence, she was now fully aligned with Nobunaga, whose ambitions extended far beyond Owari province. Yet, the loss of her father also placed her in a delicate position. As the daughter of a defeated daimyo and the wife of a rising power, she became a symbol of both opportunity and suspicion. Nobunaga, for his part, saw Dōsan's death as both a loss and an opportunity, while the alliance with the Saitō clan was effectively dissolved. The instability in Mino presented a chance for expansion. Nobunaga wasted no time in preparing for a campaign to take control of the province, a move that would cement his reputation as a formidable leader. Yet, this decision also placed Nōhime in an unenviable position. torn between her loyalty to her husband and the lingering ties to her family. It was during this period that Nōhime's strength and pragmatism truly shone. Despite the emotional toll of her father's death and her brother's betrayal, she remained steadfast in her support for Nobunaga. Some accounts suggest that she provided him with valuable intelligence about the Saitō clan, though these claims are speculative at best. What is certain, however, is that her unwavering loyalty helped solidify Nobunaga's trust in her during one of the most critical periods of his early career. Nōhime's composure in the face of such personal and political turmoil was remarkable. She understood that her survival, and that of the Oda clan, depended on her ability to navigate the complexities of Sengoku politics with precision. While Nobunaga focused on the battlefield, Nōhime worked behind the scenes to maintain the stability of their household and strengthen their alliances. Her efforts were not always visible, but they were no less essential. The campaign to seize Mino was a grueling affair, marked by a series of sieges and battles that tested Nobunaga's resolve. Among the most significant of these was the siege of Inuyama Castle, the Saitō clan's stronghold. This fortress, perched atop a steep mountain, was considered nearly impregnable. Yet, Nobunaga's determination and his innovative approach to warfare proved otherwise. By employing a combination of deception and audacious tactics, he managed to capture the castle in 1567, effectively bringing Mino under his control. For Nōhime, the fall of Inuyama Castle was both a victory and a tragedy. It symbolized the culmination of Nobunaga's campaign and the end of her family's legacy in Mino. Yet, she bore this loss with the same stoicism that had defined her life. As Nobunaga renamed the castle Gifu and declared it his new base of operations, Nōhime embraced her role as the wife of a rising power, leaving behind the remnants of her past. The capture of Mino marked a new chapter in Nobunaga's quest for unification, but it also solidified Nōhime's place in his story. Her support during this tumultuous period, both as a confidant and a stabilizing presence, was instrumental in his success. While history often credits Nobunaga's victories to his military genius, it is impossible to ignore the contributions of the woman who stood by his side. Nōhime's relationship with her father, though complex, had shaped her into the woman she needed to be for Nobunaga. From Saitō Dōsan, she had inherited the cunning and resilience that allowed her to navigate the challenges of Sengoku Japan. And though her father's legacy ended in betrayal and bloodshed, Nōhime's story was far from over. She had emerged from the shadow of Saitō Dōsan not as a victim, but as a survivor, one whose influence would continue to shape the course of Japanese history. As Nobunaga's ambitions grew, so too did the challenges they would face together. The fall of Mino was merely the beginning, a prelude to the trials and triumphs that awaited them in the unrelenting march toward unification. For Nōhime, the road ahead would demand even greater strength, as she navigated a world where loyalty was fleeting and survival was never guaranteed. Oda Nobunaga's rise from a minor daimyo in Owari province to one of the most formidable figures of the Sengoku era was nothing short of revolutionary. Behind his ascent was a combination of bold strategy, unyielding ambition, and an unwavering ability to defy convention. But within the shadows of his meteoric rise stood Nōhime, his silent partner and advisor, who ensured that his fire never burned out even when the odds were stacked against him. By the mid-1550s, Nobunaga had begun to consolidate his power in Owari. But his journey was fraught with challenges. The Oda clan itself was divided, with factions loyal to his younger brother, Oda Nobuyuki, conspiring to overthrow him. Nobunaga's eccentric personality, unpredictable methods, and blatant disregard for tradition had alienated many of his retainers. For every ally he gained, there seemed to be two more ready to betray him. Nōhime quickly realized that Nobunaga's survival and their shared ambitions depended on bridging these divisions. Where Nobunaga was fire and chaos, Nōhime was calm and order. While her husband intimidated and overwhelmed his enemies with force, she worked to pacify dissent within his ranks. Her ability to navigate the complex web of loyalties and rivalries within the Oda clan proved invaluable during these tumultuous years. One of the most defining moments of Nobunaga's early career came in 1557, when his brother Nobuyuki launched a rebellion against him. The conflict reached its peak at the Battle of Ino, where Nobunaga's forces decisively defeated Nobuyuki's army. Though Nobuyuki surrendered and pledged loyalty, Nobunaga knew his brother's ambitions would not be extinguished so easily. Nōhime, aware of the delicate balance of power within the clan, advocated for leniency, recognizing that outright elimination of Nobuyuki could destabilize the Oda family. However, when Nobuyuki's treachery surfaced once again, Nobunaga acted decisively, orchestrating his brother's assassination during a banquet. It was a brutal but necessary move that solidified his control over the Oda clan. Nōhime's role during this period was critical, though she did not wield a blade. She wielded influence. Her ability to mediate tensions and maintain unity within the household allowed Nobunaga to focus on external threats without fear of internal collapse. While Nobunaga's consolidation of Owari was a significant achievement, it was merely a stepping stone toward his larger ambitions. The Imagawa clan, one of the most powerful forces in central Japan, loomed as a constant threat. Under the leadership of Imagawa Yoshimoto, the clan controlled a vast swath of territory, stretching from Mikawa to Suruga. Yoshimoto's ambitions of marching on Kyoto and establishing himself as shogun posed an existential threat to Nobunaga's fledgling power. In 1560, Yoshimoto launched a massive campaign against Owari, leading an army of nearly 25,000 men. Nobunaga, with his far smaller force of 3,000, faced what seemed like certain defeat. Many of his retainers urged him to surrender or retreat, but Nobunaga refused. Instead, he devised a daring plan to turn the tide of the battle. Before the decisive engagement at Okahazama, Nōhime played a quiet but crucial role. While Nobunaga prepared his forces, she worked behind the scenes to bolster morale among the retainers and ensure that the household remained secure during his absence. Some accounts suggest that she participated in rituals and prayers to secure divine favor for her husband, a testament to her belief in the spiritual as well as strategic dimensions of leadership. The Battle of Okahazama became a defining moment in Japanese history. Nobunaga's forces, using the cover of a sudden thunderstorm, launched a surprise attack on Yoshimoto's camp. The Imagawa army, caught off guard and overconfident in their numerical superiority, was routed. Yoshimoto himself was killed in the chaos, and the Imagawa clan's dominance crumbled. The victory not only secured Nobunaga's position in Owari, but also marked the beginning of his reputation as a master strategist and a leader who defied impossible odds. When Nobunaga returned to Kiyosu Castle, he was greeted as a hero. Yet, amid the celebrations, it was Nōhime who ensured that the momentum of the victory was not squandered. She recognized that the triumph at Okahazama was not merely a military success but a political opportunity. The defeat of the Imagawa left a power vacuum in Mikawa and the surrounding provinces, and Nōhime encouraged Nobunaga to move swiftly to consolidate alliances and expand his influence. One of the most significant outcomes of Okahazama was the defection of Tokugawa Ieyasu, a vassal of the Imagawa who would go on to become one of Nobunaga's most important allies. Nōhime's diplomatic acumen was instrumental in fostering this alliance, which would prove critical in the years to come. Though history often credits Nobunaga with these strategic moves, Nōhime's contributions behind the scenes were no less vital. As Nobunaga's power grew, so too did the scope of Nōhime's responsibilities. She managed the household with an efficiency that allowed Nobunaga to focus entirely on his campaigns. She also maintained correspondence with other powerful families, subtly advancing Nobunaga's interests through carefully crafted letters and gifts. Her ability to navigate the expectations of Sengoku society while maintaining her own influence was a testament to her intelligence and adaptability. However, Nōhime's life was not without its challenges. The growing prominence of Nobunaga's concubines, particularly Kitsuno, added an additional layer of complexity to her role. Kitsuno bore Nobunaga several children, including his eldest son, Nobutada, further solidifying her position in the household. Yet, Nōhime's status as Nobunaga's primary wife remained unshaken, a reflection of the respect and trust he placed in her. While the relationship between Nōhime and Kitsuno is largely undocumented, it is likely that Nōhime approached the situation with her characteristic pragmatism. In a society where polygamy among the ruling class was the norm, she understood that her value to Nobunaga extended beyond the ability to produce heirs. Her intelligence, loyalty, and political acumen made her an irreplaceable partner, even as the dynamics of the household evolved. By the end of the 1560s, Nobunaga had emerged as a force to be reckoned with, his victories paving the way for his eventual unification of Japan. Yet, behind the scenes, it was Nōhime who ensured that the foundation of his power remained stable. She was the quiet architect of his success, her influence woven into the fabric of his achievements, as Nobunaga turned his sights beyond Owari, toward the greater goal of unifying the warring states of Japan. Nōhime's role would continue to evolve. The challenges ahead would test not only Nobunaga's military prowess but also Nōhime's resilience and ingenuity. Together, they would confront the trials of ambition, loyalty, and the relentless pursuit of a vision that would forever change the course of Japanese history. As Oda Nobunaga's ambitions stretched beyond Owari province, his campaigns grew increasingly complex, and the stakes became higher with each passing year. By the mid-1560s, Nobunaga was no longer just a regional warlord. He was emerging as a revolutionary force in Sengoku, Japan. His vision of unification was bold, audacious, and often met with fierce resistance. While the history books celebrate Nobunaga as a brilliant tactician and fearsome leader, they often overlook the quieter, subtler role of his wife, Nōhime, who worked tirelessly in the shadows to support his ambitions. Nōhime's contributions to Nobunaga's campaigns were rarely visible on the battlefield but were no less critical to his success. Her upbringing in the Saitō clan, where political maneuvering and strategic thinking were essential for survival, had prepared her to navigate the treacherous waters of Sengoku politics. While Nobunaga wielded his armies with ruthless efficiency, Nōhime wielded her influence with equal skill, ensuring that the political and logistical foundation of his campaigns remained secure. One of Nōhime's most significant strengths was her ability to manage alliances. In a time when loyalties were fleeting and betrayals were commonplace, maintaining strong relationships with powerful families and retainers was as important as winning battles. Nōhime acted as a bridge between Nobunaga and his allies, smoothing over disputes and reinforcing bonds through diplomacy. Her intelligence and tact made her an invaluable asset in an era where even the slightest misstep could lead to disaster. A key example of Nōhime's influence during this period was her role in managing the alliance with Tokugawa Ieyasu. After the defeat of the Imagawa clan at the Battle of Okahazama, Ieyasu, once a vassal of the Imagawa, had aligned himself with Nobunaga. This alliance, though beneficial, was not without its challenges. Ieyasu was an ambitious and independent leader in his own right, and maintaining a cooperative relationship required careful negotiation. While Nobunaga focused on his military campaigns, Nōhime worked to ensure that the alliance remained strong, using her skills in diplomacy to address any potential conflicts that arose. Nōhime's influence extended beyond diplomacy. She was deeply involved in the logistical aspects of Nobunaga's campaigns, ensuring that his armies were well supplied and his territories well governed in his absence. Her ability to manage resources and maintain order within the Oda domain allowed Nobunaga to focus entirely on his military objectives. It was a role that required immense skill and patience, as the demands of war placed constant pressure on the household and its resources. During the late 1560s, Nobunaga's campaigns brought him into conflict with some of the most powerful forces in Japan, including the Asakura and Azai clans. The alliances he formed to counter these threats, particularly with Tokugawa Ieyasu and Takeda Shingen, were critical to his success. Nōhime's role in facilitating these alliances, though largely undocumented, would have been essential in ensuring their stability. Her ability to navigate the intricate web of Sengoku politics, where alliances were often as fragile as the cherry blossoms in spring, was a testament to her intelligence and adaptability. The Azai-Asakura alliance presented one of Nobunaga's greatest challenges during this period. The betrayal of Azai Nagamasa, who had initially allied with Nobunaga through marriage, was a bitter blow. Nagamasa's decision to side with the Asakura against Nobunaga placed the Oda clan in a precarious position. Nobunaga's response was swift and decisive, culminating in the siege of Odani Castle, where Nagamasa met his end, while Nobunaga was occupied with the military aspects of this conflict. Nōhime worked tirelessly to manage the political fallout, ensuring that the betrayal did not destabilize Nobunaga's other alliances. Nōhime's resilience during these tumultuous years was remarkable. She faced constant challenges, both personal and political, yet she never wavered in her commitment to Nobunaga's vision. Her ability to adapt to changing circumstances and maintain her composure under pressure made her an indispensable partner in his rise to power. She was, in many ways, the unseen strategist of the Oda clan, working behind the scenes to ensure that Nobunaga's ambitions could be realized. One of the most notable aspects of Nōhime's role during this period was her involvement in intelligence gathering. While historical records are sparse, there are numerous accounts suggesting that Nōhime played a key role in obtaining information about Nobunaga's enemies. Her connections to the Saitō clan, as well as her extensive network of informants and allies, provided Nobunaga with valuable insights into the movements and strategies of his rivals. Whether through correspondence, covert meetings, or the careful cultivation of informants, Nōhime's contributions to Nobunaga's intelligence operations were crucial in giving him an edge over his adversaries. Despite her many contributions, Nōhime's position within the Oda household was not without its challenges. The growing prominence of Nobunaga's concubines, particularly Kitsuno, added an additional layer of complexity to her role. Kitsuno, who had borne Nobunaga several children, including his heir Nobutada, held significant influence within the household. Yet, Nōhime's position as Nobunaga's primary wife remained secure, a reflection of the respect and trust he placed in her. The late 1560s also marked a period of significant cultural and political change within the Oda domain. Nobunaga's policies, which emphasized merit over lineage and innovation over tradition, began to take root, transforming the social fabric of his territories. Nōhime, as the mistress of the Oda household, played a key role in implementing these policies. Her ability to balance the demands of tradition with Nobunaga's progressive vision was instrumental in ensuring their success. By the end of the 1560s, Nobunaga had established himself as one of the most powerful daimyos in Japan, his victories paving the way for the eventual unification of the country. Yet, his rise was far from complete. The challenges ahead would test not only Nobunaga's military prowess but also Nōhime's resilience and ingenuity. As the Oda clan prepared for the next phase of its journey, Nōhime's role as the unseen strategist remained as vital as ever. Through her quiet strength and unwavering support, Nōhime had become an integral part of Nobunaga's story. While history often celebrates the warriors and leaders of the Sengoku era, it is the contributions of figures like Nōhime, who worked tirelessly behind the scenes, that truly shaped the course of Japanese history. Together, she and Nobunaga stood on the brink of greatness, their partnership a testament to the power of collaboration and the enduring strength of the human spirit. As Oda Nobunaga's ambitions expanded beyond the borders of Owari, so too did the complexity of his household. By the 1570s, Nobunaga had become a central figure in Sengoku Japan, with his campaigns drawing both allies and enemies to his orbit. Amid this growing power, the dynamics within his personal life began to shift. while Nobunaga remained deeply reliant on Nōhime as his primary wife and confidant. The emergence of other women in his life brought new challenges to their relationship and the politics of the Oda household. Nōhime's inability to bear children was a well-known reality within the Oda clan. In a society where producing heirs was a woman's primary duty, this placed her in a precarious position. However, Nōhime's intelligence, political acumen, and unwavering support for Nobunaga ensured that she retained her status as his official wife. Yet, Nobunaga's concubines, particularly Kitsuno, began to play an increasingly prominent role in the household due to their ability to produce heirs. Kitsuno, a woman of remarkable beauty and grace, bore Nobunaga several children, including his eldest son, Nobutada. Her position as the mother of Nobunaga's heir gave her significant influence within the Oda clan. Kitsuno's presence was a constant reminder of Nōhime's inability to fulfill this critical role. Yet Nōhime approached the situation with the pragmatism that had come to define her life. Rather than viewing Kitsuno as a rival, Nōhime recognized her as an ally in preserving the stability of the Oda clan. Historical records do not detail the relationship between the two women, but it is likely that Nōhime, ever the strategist, sought to maintain harmony within the household by supporting Kitsuno's position as the mother of Nobunaga's children. Nōhime ensured that her own role as the clan's matriarch remained unchallenged. Her ability to navigate these complex dynamics was a testament to her resilience and wisdom. The Oda household, like any samurai family of the Sengoku era, was a microcosm of the larger political struggles that defined the period. Loyalty, power, and ambition often collided within the confines of the family, creating tensions that could erupt into open conflict. Nōhime's role as the household's stabilizing force was critical in preventing such disputes from undermining Nobunaga's broader ambitions. One of the most challenging periods for Nōhime came during the 1570s, as Nobunaga faced a series of formidable enemies, including the Azai-Asakura alliance, the Ikoiki rebels, and the Takeda clan. These conflicts placed immense pressure on the Oda household, as Nobunaga's campaigns required constant resources, manpower, and political maneuvering. Nōhime, while not directly involved in the military aspects of these campaigns, played a crucial role in maintaining the Oda clan's internal stability. During this time, Nōhime's relationship with Nobutada, Nobunaga's eldest son and heir, became increasingly important. While Nobutada's mother was Kitsuno, it was Nōhime who guided him in understanding the intricacies of leadership and the responsibilities that came with his position. She took on the role of a mentor, ensuring that Nobutada was prepared to inherit Nobunaga's legacy. Her ability to rise above personal grievances and focus on the greater good of the clan was a reflection of her unyielding dedication to Nobunaga's vision. Nōhime's influence also extended to Nobunaga's other children, including his daughters, who were often used to forge alliances through marriage. She oversaw their education and upbringing, ensuring that they were equipped to navigate the complexities of Sengoku politics. Her role as a maternal figure, even to children who were not biologically her own, highlighted her commitment to the Oda clan and its future. Despite the challenges she faced, Nōhime remained a central figure in Nobunaga's life. Their relationship, though complicated by the presence of other women, was built on a foundation of mutual respect and trust. Nobunaga valued Nōhime's intelligence and counsel, often seeking her advice on matters of state. Their private conversations, though rarely documented, were said to be intellectually stimulating and critical to Nobunaga's decision-making process. One of the most poignant aspects of Nōhime's role during this period was her ability to balance tradition with innovation. Nobunaga's policies often challenged the rigid norms of Sengoku society, emphasizing merit over lineage and progress over convention. Nōhime, as the mistress of the Oda household, was instrumental in implementing these policies within the domestic sphere. She worked tirelessly to ensure that the household reflected Nobunaga's vision, creating an environment that supported his revolutionary ideas. By the mid-1570s, Nobunaga's power had grown to unprecedented heights. His victories over the Azai and Asakura clans, the Ikoiki rebels, and the Takeda clan solidified his reputation as one of Japan's most formidable leaders. Yet, as his ambitions expanded, so too did the pressures on Nōhime and the Oda household. The challenges they faced during this period tested the limits of their resilience, but they also underscored the strength of their partnership. Nōhime's ability to navigate the complexities of Nobunaga's personal and political life was a testament to her intelligence, adaptability, and unwavering commitment to his vision. While history often celebrates the warriors and strategists of the Sengoku era, it is the contributions of figures like Nōhime, who worked tirelessly behind the scenes, that truly shaped the course of Japanese history. As Nobunaga's campaigns continued, Nōhime's role would remain as vital as ever. Her ability to maintain harmony within the Oda household, support Nobunaga's alliances, and guide the next generation of leaders ensured that the foundation of Nobunaga's power remained secure. Together, they stood at the forefront of a transformative period in Japan's history, their partnership a testament to the enduring strength of collaboration and vision. By the mid-1560s, Oda Nobunaga's ambitions reached beyond Owari province. His eyes were set on Mino, a province rich in resources and strategically located at the crossroads of Japan's central plains. Yet, Mino was a land fraught with complexities. The death of Saitō Dōsan, Nōhime's father, had plunged the province into chaos, with Saitō Yashitatsu, Dōsan's son and Nōhime's brother, consolidating power amidst internal strife. For Nobunaga, the conquest of Mino was not only a strategic necessity but also a deeply personal battle, tied irrevocably to his wife's family. The campaign for Mino centered on the imposing fortress of Inabayama Castle, perched atop a steep mountain and surrounded by natural defenses. The castle, a symbol of Saitō power, was considered nearly impregnable. Under the leadership of Yashitatsu and later his son Saitō Tatsuoki, the Saitō clan sought to hold their ground against Nobunaga's relentless advances. For Nōhime, the conflict brought a mix of duty, grief, and personal conflict. While her loyalty to Nobunaga was unwavering, the prospect of dismantling her family's legacy weighed heavily on her. Nōhime's role in the campaign for Mino was subtle yet significant. As Nobunaga prepared for the protracted conflict, Nōhime worked behind the scenes to strengthen alliances and manage the logistical demands of the campaign. Her intimate knowledge of Mino's geography, politics, and key figures proved invaluable to Nobunaga's strategy. It is said that she maintained a network of informants within Mino, providing Nobunaga with crucial intelligence about the Saitō clan's defenses and internal divisions. The first stages of Nobunaga's campaign were marked by a series of skirmishes and negotiations. As he sought to weaken the Saitō clan's hold on Mino, Nōhime's diplomatic skills were critical during this period. As she worked to secure the loyalty of Mino's local lords and samurai, her efforts helped to erode the Saitō clan's power base, paving the way for Nobunaga's eventual assault on Inabayama Castle. By 1567, the stage was set for the final confrontation. Nobunaga, utilizing his signature blend of audacity and innovation, devised a plan to breach Inabayama's defenses. His forces built a series of secret paths through the surrounding mountains, enabling them to launch a surprise attack on the castle's weakest points. The maneuver, though risky, was a testament to Nobunaga's strategic genius and his willingness to challenge conventional warfare. The siege itself was a grueling affair. Nobunaga's forces faced fierce resistance from the Saitō defenders, who utilized the castle's natural defenses to their advantage. Yet, Nobunaga's determination never wavered. As his soldiers pressed the attack, Nōhime played a vital role in maintaining the morale and stability of the Oda household. She managed the flow of supplies and reinforcements, ensuring that Nobunaga's army remained well-supported throughout the campaign. The fall of Inabayama Castle marked a turning point in Nobunaga's rise to power. The castle, once a symbol of Saitō dominance, was renamed Gifu, and Nobunaga declared it his new base of operations. The victory not only secured Mino but also established Nobunaga as a force to be reckoned with in the Sengoku era. For Nōhime, the conquest of Mino was both a triumph and a tragedy. The destruction of her family's legacy was a painful reminder of the cost of ambition. Yet she remained steadfast in her loyalty to Nobunaga. Her ability to compartmentalize personal grief and focus on the greater good of the Oda clan was a testament to her resilience and strength. The victory at Inuyama also solidified Nōhime's position within the Oda household. Her contributions to the campaign, though largely unacknowledged in historical records, were critical to its success. Nobunaga, ever the pragmatist, recognized her value as a partner and advisor, and their bond deepened in the wake of the campaign. The capture of Gifu marked the beginning of a new chapter for Nobunaga and Nōhime. With Mino under their control, they turned their attention to the broader goal of unifying Japan. Yet, the challenges ahead would be even greater, as Nobunaga's ambitions brought him into conflict with some of the most powerful forces in the country. For Nōhime, the road ahead was uncertain, but her resolve remained unshaken. The siege of Inuyama Castle had tested her loyalty, strength, and resilience, and she had emerged stronger for it. As Nobunaga's empire grew, so too did her role as his partner and confidant. Together, they stood at the forefront of a transformative era in Japanese history, their partnership a testament to the power of perseverance and vision. With the capture of Gifu and the consolidation of Mino province, Oda Nobunaga's ambitions burned brighter than ever. His vision of uniting a fractured Japan was no longer a distant dream but a burgeoning reality. The victories of the late 1560s had not only cemented his reputation as a military genius but also positioned him as a pivotal force in the Sengoku era. Yet, behind the banners and the battles, there was a quieter force shaping the Oda legacy, Nōhime, the woman who had stood steadfastly by his side. By this point in their lives, Nobunaga's reputation had expanded far beyond the borders of Mino. His relentless drive to unify Japan brought him into conflict with powerful rivals and entrenched institutions, from the Azaya-Sakura alliance to the militant Ikoiki sects and, eventually, the mighty Takeda clan. These campaigns demanded not only military strength but also political finesse and logistical mastery, areas where Nōhime's influence was indispensable. Nōhime's role in the growing empire. As Nobunaga's territories grew, so did the complexity of governing them. Nobunaga's military campaigns often left the domestic sphere unattended, making Nōhime's role as the de facto manager of the Oda household and its vast holdings critical. She oversaw the administration of resources, the organization of supplies for Nobunaga's armies, and the management of relationships with the growing network of retainers and allies. Her ability to maintain stability at home allowed Nobunaga to focus entirely on the battlefield. Nōhime also became a symbol of the Oda clan's unity and strength. Despite her lack of biological children, she embraced the role of mentor and guardian for Nobunaga's heirs, particularly his eldest son, Nobutada, as Nobutada grew into his responsibilities as his father's successor. Nōhime guided him with wisdom and care, ensuring that he understood the importance of his position and the weight of the legacy he was expected to carry forward. Supporting Nobunaga's revolutionary policies. Nobunaga's vision of unification was not limited to military conquest. It extended to the restructuring of Japan's political and social systems. His policies were radical for the time, emphasizing merit over lineage and innovation over tradition. These reforms challenged the deeply ingrained customs of Sengoku society, earning Nobunaga both admiration and fierce opposition. Nōhime played a crucial role in implementing these policies within the Oda domain. Her ability to balance Nobunaga's progressive vision with the expectations of traditional samurai culture helped ease the transition for those who served under him. She acted as a mediator between Nobunaga and his retainers, many of whom struggled to adapt to his unorthodox methods. Through her diplomacy and tact, she helped to maintain cohesion within the Oda ranks during a time of significant upheaval. facing the Ikoiki Rebellion. One of the greatest challenges of this period was the rebellion of the Ikoiki, a militant Buddhist sect that opposed Nobunaga's expansion. The Ikoiki movement, with its stronghold at the Ishiyama Honnō-ji Temple in Osaka, represented a formidable resistance to Nobunaga's authority. Their defiance was not merely a military obstacle, but also a spiritual and ideological challenge to Nobunaga's vision of a unified Japan. While Nobunaga waged war against the Ikoiki on the battlefield, Nōhime worked behind the scenes to manage the political and logistical aspects of the conflict. She coordinated the flow of supplies and reinforcements to Nobunaga's armies, ensuring that they could sustain their prolonged campaign against the well-entrenched Ikoiki forces. Her efforts were critical in maintaining the momentum of Nobunaga's war effort, even as the conflict dragged on for years. The Ikoiki Rebellion also highlighted the delicate balance that Nōhime had to maintain within the Oda household. As Nobunaga's campaigns grew more intense, so too did the strain on the Oda clan's resources and retainers. Nōhime's ability to manage these pressures and prevent internal dissent was instrumental in ensuring the stability of Nobunaga's empire. The death of Kitsuno and its aftermath. In 1566, during this transformative period, Kitsuno, Nobunaga's favored concubine and the mother of his heir Nobutada, passed away. Her death had a profound impact on Nobunaga, who reportedly mourned her deeply. It also reshaped the dynamics within the Oda household, further solidifying Nōhime's role as its matriarch. While Kitsuno's passing eliminated a potential source of rivalry within the household, it also placed greater responsibility on Nōhime. She stepped into an even more prominent role as the mentor and protector of Nobunaga's children, ensuring that they were prepared to carry forward his legacy. Her ability to navigate this challenging period with grace and resilience underscored her importance not only to Nobunaga, but also to the future of the Oda clan. The legacy of partnership. By the early 1570s, Nobunaga's power and influence were undeniable. His victories over the Azayasakura alliance and the Ikoiki rebels, as well as his growing alliance with Tokugawa Ieyasu, positioned him as one of the most formidable daimyos in Japan. Yet, his rise was not solely the result of his military genius. It was also the product of a partnership built on mutual respect, trust, and shared ambition. Nōhime's contributions to Nobunaga's legacy were vast and multifaceted. She was not a warrior on the battlefield, yet her influence was felt in every victory. Through her diplomacy, intelligence, and unwavering loyalty, she provided Nobunaga with the stability and support he needed to pursue his vision of unification. She was the unseen architect of many of his successes, her efforts woven into the fabric of the Oda clan's rise to power. As Nobunaga's ambitions grew, so too did the challenges they faced together. The road to unification was long and fraught with peril, but Nōhime remained a steadfast presence by Nobunaga's side. Her ability to navigate the complexities of Sengoku politics and her resilience in the face of personal and political adversity made her an indispensable partner in Nobunaga's quest for greatness. While history often celebrates the warriors and leaders of the Sengoku era, it is figures like Nōhime who worked tirelessly behind the scenes, who truly shaped the course of Japanese history. Her contributions, though often overlooked, were integral to the legacy of one of Japan's most transformative periods. Together, she and Nobunaga stood as a testament to the power of vision, collaboration, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. The year was 1582, and Oda Nobunaga was at the height of his power. His campaigns had shattered the strongest clans of the Sengoku period, and he stood on the verge of unifying Japan under his rule. Yet, with great power came even greater enemies. Among them was Akechi Mitsuhide, one of Nobunaga's most trusted generals, whose betrayal would lead to the most defining tragedy in Nobunaga's life, and one that would irrevocably alter Nōhime's world. As Nobunaga embarked on his final campaign, his forces were spread across Japan, engaged in various battles against the remnants of resistance. Nobunaga himself was stationed in Kyoto at the Honnō-ji Temple, having assumed a position of relative security. It was a brief moment of reprieve in his relentless pursuit of unification. Yet, in the shadow of his victories, seeds of discontent had taken root. Akechi Mitsuhide, long a loyal vassal, harbored grievances against Nobunaga, whether it was the result of personal humiliation, political rivalry, or an opportunistic grab for power remains a matter of historical speculation. What is clear, however, is that Mitsuhide's betrayal was calculated and swift. On June 21, 1582, Mitsuhide's forces turned against Nobunaga, launching a surprise attack on the Honnō-ji Temple in what would become known as the Honnō-ji Incident. Nobunaga, unprepared for such treachery, was vastly outnumbered. As Mitsuhide's forces closed in, the temple became a fiery battleground. Nobunaga, unwilling to be captured or humiliated, chose to end his own life. Accounts differ on the exact circumstances, but it is widely believed that Nobunaga committed seppuku, the ritual suicide of a samurai, amidst the flames of Honnō-ji. His death sent shockwaves across Japan, plunging the country back into uncertainty. For Nōhime, the news of Nobunaga's death was both devastating and transformative. Though she was not present at Honnō-ji, the loss of her husband marked the end of an era in her life and in Japanese history. The man she had stood beside for decades, the man whose ambitions had reshaped the nation, was gone, leaving her to grapple with the aftermath of his legacy. The immediate impact of Nobunaga's death was chaos. The Oda clan, now leaderless, faced threats from all sides as rival factions sought to capitalize on the power vacuum. Nobunaga's heir, Nobutada, was killed in a related attack at Nijo Castle, leaving the clan without a clear successor. The empire that Nobunaga had built seemed poised to crumble under the weight of internal and external pressures. In the midst of this turmoil, Nōhime's role became one of quiet resilience. While the historical record is unclear about her precise actions during this period, it is likely that she worked to preserve what remained of Nobunaga's legacy. Her position within the Oda household, coupled with her deep understanding of Sengoku politics, would have made her a stabilizing force in the aftermath of the Honnō-ji incident. Nōhime's relationship with Mitsuhide is another point of speculation. Some sources suggest that Nōhime may have harbored mistrust toward Mitsuhide even before his betrayal, while others posit that she was as blindsided as anyone else. Regardless, Mitsuhide's coup was short-lived. Within weeks of Nobunaga's death, Mitsuhide was defeated by Toyotomi Hideyoshi, Nobunaga's most prominent general and eventual successor. Hideyoshi's swift action ensured that Mitsuhide's betrayal did not undo all that Nobunaga had achieved. The Honnō-ji incident also cast a shadow over Nōhime's legacy. With Nobunaga gone, her role as his wife and advisor was often overlooked in the narratives that followed. Historians focused on the dramatic rise of Hideyoshi and the eventual unification of Japan under Tokugawa Ieyasu, leaving little room for the contributions of a woman who had been instrumental in Nobunaga's success. Yet, for those who knew her, Nōhime's influence was undeniable. She had been a constant presence in Nobunaga's life, a partner who had supported him through triumph and tragedy alike. Her intelligence, loyalty, and resilience had shaped not only his career but also the destiny of the Oda clan. Even in the face of such profound loss, Nōhime remained a figure of strength, embodying the quiet dignity that had defined her life. The years following Nobunaga's death are shrouded in mystery. Some accounts suggest that Nōhime retired to a life of seclusion, perhaps in mourning for her husband and the world they had built together. Others speculate that she may have continued to play a role in the Oda clan's affairs, offering guidance to the next generation of leaders. What is certain, however, is that her story did not end with Nobunaga's death. It became part of the larger narrative of Sengoku Japan, a story of resilience, sacrifice, and the enduring power of partnership. The Honnō-ji incident marked the end of an era, but it also solidified Nobunaga's legacy as one of Japan's greatest leaders. For Nōhime, It was a moment of profound loss, but also a testament to the life she had shared with a man whose vision had changed the course of history. Though history often forgets the women who shaped its most pivotal moments, Nōhime's contributions endure in the shadows, a reminder of the quiet strength that underpins even the boldest ambitions. After the inferno at Honnō-ji that claimed Oda Nobunaga's life, the world that Nōhime had devoted herself to building was irrevocably altered. For decades, she had stood at the heart of Nobunaga's ambitions, a silent strategist and an unyielding supporter. With his death, the momentum of the Oda clan faltered, and the power vacuum left by his absence ushered in chaos. Yet, while Nobunaga's story came to a dramatic and fiery end, Nōhime's own tale faded into the shadows, leaving history to speculate on her final years. The immediate aftermath of Nobunaga's death was consumed by a desperate struggle for power. The Oda clan, now without its patriarch, faced not only external threats but also internal fracturing. Nobutada, Nobunaga's heir, had fallen at Nijo Castle, leaving no clear successor to rally the clan's retainers. Nobunaga's generals, particularly Toyotomi Hideyoshi, scrambled to consolidate their own positions amidst the upheaval. Hideyoshi's swift victory over Akechi Mitsuhide at the Battle of Yamazaki, less than 2 weeks after Honnō-ji, restored some semblance of order, but it marked the beginning of a new era, one in which the Oda family would play a diminished role. For Nōhime, the fall of her husband and his empire was a deeply personal loss. Her position within the Oda household, once unassailable, became increasingly precarious as the political landscape shifted. Despite this, there is no record of Nōhime retreating into despair. Instead, the scattered historical accounts hint at a woman who adapted, as she had always done, to the changing circumstances around her. One theory suggests that Nōhime withdrew from the political stage entirely, choosing a life of quiet seclusion. This aligns with the customs of samurai widows of the time, who often retired to temples to live out their remaining years in prayer and reflection. If this was her path, it is likely that Nōhime's withdrawal was as much a strategic decision as a personal one. By stepping away from the tumult of Sengoku politics, she may have sought to protect herself from the shifting allegiances and dangers that surrounded the remnants of the Oda clan. Other accounts, however, suggest that Nōhime may have remained involved in the Oda family's affairs, at least indirectly, as the widow of Nobunaga and a respected figure within the clan. Her insights and connections would have been invaluable in navigating the uncertain future. She may have offered guidance to Nobunaga's surviving sons and daughters, helping them to preserve what little remained of the family's legacy. In this scenario, Nōhime would have played a quiet but crucial role in ensuring that the Oda name endured, even as its influence waned. One of the more intriguing theories about Nōhime's later years is tied to her family connections in Mino province. Despite the animosity that had once existed between Nobunaga and the Saitō clan, Nōhime's ties to her father's legacy remained a part of her identity. It is possible that she sought refuge among allies or retainers loyal to the memory of Saitō Dōsan, leveraging her status as the daughter of the Viper of Mino to secure a safe haven. If so, this would have been a return to the land of her birth, a fitting conclusion for a woman whose life had been shaped by the convergence of two powerful clans. Yet, the most enduring mystery of Nōhime's life is the lack of definitive records about her death. Unlike Nobunaga, whose dramatic end is etched into the annals of history, Nōhime's passing is shrouded in ambiguity. Some accounts suggest that she lived out her final years in relative obscurity, far from the political intrigue that had once defined her life. Others speculate that she may have succumbed to illness or even been a casualty of the violent power struggles that followed Nobunaga's death. Despite the lack of clarity surrounding her later years, Nōhime's legacy endures in the broader narrative of Sengoku Japan. As Nobunaga's wife and confidant, she played a vital role in the unification campaigns that reshaped the nation. Her intelligence, resilience, and loyalty made her an indispensable part of Nobunaga's success. even if her contributions were often overshadowed by the dramatic events of the time. In Japanese culture, Nōhime has become a symbol of quiet strength and enigmatic influence. She is often depicted in literature, theater, and film as a woman of extraordinary beauty and intelligence, whose life was defined by both personal sacrifice and political acumen. These portrayals, while romanticized, capture the essence of a woman who navigated one of the most turbulent periods in Japanese history with grace and determination. Nōhime's story serves as a reminder of the often overlooked contributions of women in history, while Nobunaga's legacy is celebrated as one of conquest and innovation. It is impossible to separate his achievements from the support and guidance of the woman who stood beside him. Nōhime's life, though shrouded in mystery, is a testament to the power of partnership and the enduring strength of those who work quietly in the shadows to shape the course of history. As the Sengoku era gave way to the unification of Japan under Toyotomi Hideyoshi and later Tokugawa Ieyasu, Nōhime's name faded from the historical spotlight. Yet, her influence persisted in the legacy of the Oda clan and the transformative period they helped to define. Though she may not have wielded a sword or commanded armies, Nōhime's story is one of quiet resilience, strategic brilliance, and unwavering loyalty. A legacy as enduring as the mountains of Mino and the castle of Gifu that once stood as symbols of her family's power. As Japan transitioned into a new era under the leadership of Toyotomi Hideyoshi and, eventually, Tokugawa Ieyasu, the Oda clan's influence faded into history. The Sengoku period, defined by chaos and ambition, gave way to the Edo period, marked by relative peace and stability. Yet, the legacy of those who had shaped the unification of Japan endured, their names etched into the annals of history. Among them was Nōhime, a woman whose contributions, though often overlooked, were integral to one of the most transformative periods in Japanese history. Nōhime's story is not one of loud triumphs or dramatic battles, but of quiet strength and resilience. As the wife of Oda Nobunaga, she navigated a world where power was often defined by violence and betrayal. Her intelligence and adaptability allowed her to thrive in the male-dominated sphere of Sengoku politics, where alliances were as fragile as the cherry blossoms that adorned the castles of her time. Though history has left few records of her later years, Nōhime's influence on Nobunaga's life and career is undeniable. From her early days as the daughter of Saitō Dōsan to her role as the matriarch of the Oda clan, she consistently demonstrated a deep understanding of the political and social dynamics of her time. She was not merely Nobunaga's wife but his partner, a strategist, confidant, and unwavering supporter who helped him realize his vision of a unified Japan. Nōhime's legacy can be seen in the stability she provided during Nobunaga's rise to power. Her efforts to manage the Oda household, foster alliances, and mentor the next generation of leaders ensured that Nobunaga could focus on his military campaigns without distraction. Her ability to balance the expectations of traditional samurai culture with Nobunaga's progressive policies reflected her adaptability and foresight, qualities that were rare even among the most influential figures of the Sengoku era. Yet, Nōhime's story is also one of sacrifice. She bore the weight of Nobunaga's ambitions, often at great personal cost. The loss of her family's legacy in Mino, the challenges of navigating a household filled with concubines and heirs, and the grief of losing Nobunaga and his heir Nobutada at Honnō-ji are all testaments to the trials she endured. Through it all, she remained steadfast, embodying the quiet resilience that defined her life. The ambiguity surrounding Nōhime's later years only adds to her mystique. Whether she spent her final days in seclusion, mourning the loss of Nobunaga, or continued to influence the Oda clan from behind the scenes, her story remains a powerful reminder of the enduring impact of those who work in the shadows. Her life serves as a counterpoint to the grand narratives of war and conquest, highlighting the often unseen contributions of women in shaping history. In the centuries since her death, Nōhime has been immortalized in Japanese culture. She is a fixture in novels, plays, films, and television dramas, where she is often portrayed as a woman of unparalleled beauty, intelligence, and strength. While these depictions may romanticize her life, they capture the essence of a figure who transcended the limitations of her time. Nōhime's story resonates not only as a historical narrative, but also as a timeless tale of perseverance and partnership. In the end, Nōhime's legacy is intertwined with that of Oda Nobunaga. Together, they represented the dual forces of vision and stability, ambition and resilience, while Nobunaga's fiery ambition drove him to reshape Japan. It was Nōhime's steady hand that ensured the foundation of his empire remained strong. Their partnership, though forged in the crucible of Sengoku politics, was one of mutual respect and shared purpose, a testament to the power of collaboration in the face of overwhelming odds. As the final chapter of Nōhime's story fades into the mists of history, her influence endures in the legacy of the Oda clan and the unified Japan that Nobunaga dreamed of creating. Her life, though shrouded in mystery, is a reminder that even in the most tumultuous times, quiet strength and unwavering loyalty can leave an indelible mark on history. Nōhime's story, like the castles and mountains that once defined her world, stands as a testament to the enduring power of resilience, intelligence, and the courage to navigate an ever-changing world with grace and determination. It is a story that, though often overlooked, deserves its place among the great narratives of Japan's past. A story of a woman who helped shape the destiny of a nation.